Lesson 2.11 is properties of isosceles triangles. An isosceles triangle is a triangle that has two congruent sides. So it's got these two tick marks in this picture to show you that this leg, or this side and this side of the triangle are congruent. What it also does is it creates these two base angles that are congruent. So let's say these are called the base angles. This angle up here that would be different would be called the vertex angle. Okay, and then these would be called the legs. Okay, so it's the angles that are across from the congruent legs. Think of shooting an arrow into these corners. And then we can use those properties to solve these problems. It says in triangle UVW, segment UV is congruent, where my symbol went, to line WU. So let's think about that. UV and UW. I'm going to switch up the order. What point do they have in common? They both have a U. So U must be up here. So this would be UV, and this would be UW. I like to always draw my isosceles triangles to be in this orientation. Just kind of helps me. Measure of angle W is 51 degrees. Find measure of angle U and measure of angle V. Well, if these are my legs, that means this angle and this angle would be congruent. So measure of angle V would also be 51 degrees. Measure of angle U, I think there's 180 degrees, so 180 minus 51 minus 51. Which would leave you with 78 degrees. Number 2, in triangle NOP, segment NO is congruent to segment PN. Again, they have the N in common, so N must be at the vertex of this isosceles triangle. And there you got NO and NP. That means that these would be your congruent angles at the base. Measure of angle N is 101 degrees. Find measure of angle P. So let's think about this. If these have to be the same, I could first figure out, well, what are these two angles together? So I would do 180 degrees total in a triangle minus the 101 degrees. That leaves me with 79. Then I would have to split this or divide by 2. That'd be 39.5 degrees. Because that 39.5 plus another 39.5 for the other base plus 101 gives me 180 degrees. So again, it's just like a little puzzle. All right, and last one of these, in triangle VWX, angle W is congruent to angle V. And so that actually tells me the base angles. So it's telling me this angle and this angle. So one's W and one's V. This must be X at the vertex. XV, this is 13, and VW is 8. Find the length of W to X. Pretty easy. These would be the legs that are congruent, so this must be 13.